In this video, we're going to look at section 6-6, solving polynomial equations, part 2. So the key concept we want to look at is the quadratic form. An expression that is quadratic in form can be written as au squared plus bu plus c for any numbers a, b, and c where a does not equal 0 and where u is some expression in x. The expression au squared plus bu plus c is called the quadratic form of the original expression. Okay. Now, this sounds kind of convoluted, but it's actually a pretty simple concept. So when we look at this, write each expression in quadratic form if possible. So that tells you not always it'll be possible. Now, I want to think of this as, can I rewrite the x variable in the form of u? So if I think about this, can I get in quadratic looking? So I can actually rethink of this as x squared plus 13 times x squared to the first plus 36, because that's how we normally look at quadratic. So I can say u is actually equal to x squared. So anywhere there's a x squared, I'm going to rewrite it as u. So u squared plus 13 u plus 36. So now it looks like an actual quadratic equation, and I'm done. So the next one, I think of the same thing. Well, the first part, can I get it in an x squared? So I could actually rewrite it as 12 x to the fourth squared. Well, hey, that works. But then I need the next part to be in the 1, but I need to have x to the fourth again. So I'd actually have x to the fourth, but then I'd actually have to take it to the 1/2 plus 10. Well, that doesn't work because quadratics don't have a 1/2. So we have to think of it as like, whoop, can't do it. This is not possible. And that's okay. Okay, so we can use this to our advantage to solve. So solve each equation for the variable x. So now let's look at this. So I want to rewrite this as, again, x squared minus 13x squared to the first plus 36 equals 0. So I'm going to rewrite it as, well, u can be equal to x squared. So anywhere there's a x squared, I'm going to put u. So u squared minus 13 times, I don't need that, just a u plus 36 is equal to 0. Now, I recognize this trinomial. I can rewrite it as u, I can factor it, u minus 9 times u minus 4. Now let's solve for u. We're right back to where we were a couple chapters ago. U minus 9 is equal to 0. U minus 4 is equal to 0. Well, that's easy. U equals 9 and u equals 4. But wait a minute. I want x squared. So I'm going to plug my x squared back in because x squared is u right there, right at the top. U is x squared. So put in x squared equals 9 and x squared equals 4. Now just some base math, take the squared on both sides. So we get x is equal to plus minus 3 and x is equal to plus minus 2. And there we go. We've solved for x. Okay, so next one. We have a x cubed plus 343 is equal to 0. Well, remember, this is actually where in our last video we talked about the sum of two cubes. Well, this is it. So remember this, the cube root of each, so x plus 7. And then we're going to use the smiley method. The first one squared, x squared. Multiply and switch the signs. Minus 7x. Square the last one, plus 49 is equal to 0. Okay, well, the first one, x plus 7 equals 0. Well, that's easy. So I get x is equal to negative 7. Now the second one, you can never factor the second part of a difference or sum of cubes, so you have to use the quadratic formula. Okay, so x is equal to negative b, or so negative 7, well, negative 7, so it's positive 7 plus minus the square root of negative 7 squared minus 4 times 1 times 49 all over 2 times 1. Okay, so here we go. Let's just keep doing the math. X is equal to 7 plus minus the square root of 49 minus sorry, I'm just doing the math here. Do it on pencil. 196 all over 2. Keep going. X is equal to 7 plus minus the square root of negative 147 all over 2. Well, square root of negative, well, that's kind of nice. You know, well, not nice, but it's imaginary, so we can take that out. So when we do our simplifying, our root work, we get x equals 7 plus minus 7i square root of 3 all over 2. Now there's not a whole lot we can do with that, so that's two of our answers because we got plus minus, and we also have 7 in there. So x equals 7 plus minus 7i square root of 3 over 2 and negative 7 that we found before. So there is our answer. So it's a little extra work. It's a lot of extra stuff that we haven't done in a while, but we said we got to bring it back now. So